Good morning, everybody. Hope you've had a fantastic couple days, and I hope you're doing very well and staying safe. I know it's been quite busy for me, but things are starting to go in the right direction. Today, once again, it's raining, which seems to be kind of a common theme around here in the last little bit. Hey, so that does change what I was planning on doing today. Obviously, there's not a whole lot to see out there. And when I looked at the weather forecast, it was quite humorous. It's going to be 9 degrees today. That's the daytime high and the daytime low, and it's raining. And there's a 100% chance that it's going to rain all day. So what I've decided to do is kind of tell you all about what it's like to live with a Cadillac CT5. I mean, I've had it for a little over 2 months now. I've put on 3,560 kilometers. And it's been actually really, really good. I mean, when I did the math on how much the Mercedes cost me to run, I did the same calculations on this, and it's almost nothing. I mean, I've put 3,500 kilometers on it. Maybe $800 in fuel for it. That's a huge difference. The size of the vehicle here, I mean, it's much better suited for somebody of my stature. The features. There's a lot of features in here that I didn't know I wanted or needed, and now that I have them, I'm always going to want them. Number one, heated steering wheel. Well, let's just address the steering wheel. Very clean. The buttons all make sense. I don't know what these do. I think that's radio stuff. I've never bothered playing with it. Yeah, cruise, the don't run into the guy in front of you button, heated steering wheel. These buttons, these are the heated and ventilated seats. Yes, awesome. Especially out here in the summer, I would have loved to have an air-conditioned seat, or ventilated seat, sorry. Gauge cluster, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty boring, pretty generic, basic. Kind of reminds me of a Chevy Cavalier. The big screen here, nice, very responsive. I mean, it's got tons of stuff in here. I usually just leave it on this screen because it tells me your details and stuff. Wireless charging pad. One complaint. Most cars, up in the upper console here, you can press the thing and it'll open a little tray to put your sunglasses in. Now if you look close, there isn't one of those. So my sunglasses just kind of fall and flop around over there because this center console is not, well, it's not easy to get things in and out of while you're driving. So there's that. Back seat, has anybody, yeah, I've had one person sit in the back seat and driven, and they said it was nice. But I mean, it's a leather luxury interior by Cadillac, so nice is about the right word for it, I think. Driving the thing around handles way better than I thought it would. The blind spot monitoring, the lane keeping, that's all really cool. It seems to do a pretty good job. If you've got a dual left turning lane though, that gets a little interesting because halfway around the corner it thinks you're about to run into the car next to you who's turning. And I've had the car slam on the brakes in the middle of an intersection for no reason. Not sure if there's anything that can be done about that, but hey, I just know to look for it. The kind of day-to-day living with it, it's a big car. So be prepared for that if you're looking. The parking, most of that is the all-wheel drive makes it difficult to turn in and to get into tight spots. Not a big deal, especially if you're going out looking for an all-wheel drive. what else? There was one other thing that there was, oh, there's something that I noticed about a week ago that I thought was just the greatest thing ever. I wrote it down, and then I completely forgot about it. So there's one really cool thing about this car. I can't remember it. But, it'll come to me. The one modern feature, we'll call it, that I absolutely despise on any vehicle is the auto stop system. So when you pull up to a red light in traffic, the engine turns off. I hate that, especially on a turbocharged car. It makes zero sense. Oh, that's what it was. The transmission. This 10-speed that they're using in this is incredible. I mean, there's a 4-cylinder under the hood, but you would never know it because of this transmission. It just keeps it in the right place for the power to be there. So if you're looking at a car and it's got a smaller engine but a 1,000,000-speed transmission, ask the question of how it drives with that transmission. Because you might not need the bigger engine, which will save you money at the gas station. Other things, I absolutely love the screen, but this is, a huge display for the backup camera. I'm too close to that pole, so it thinks I'm going to hit it. Super clear display. The slightly higher end version of this car comes with the 360 down camera, which would be even cooler, but I have mirrors, so I'm not sure really if it would have made any difference. I don't know. Oh, and the heads-up display. Does that even show up on camera? I have no idea. Let's see. Yeah. Got your kind of digital tack there, and a speed, and then a whole bunch of lights and warnings for if traffic's getting too close. So, lots of cool stuff. I would have loved to have kind of popped the hood, poked around, showed you what's changed since it's been brand new, because I've noticed the noise. The engine has got a different note now, which makes perfect sense. It's getting broken in. But I was really, really wanting to go for a drive today, just get out on the road, clear my mind, and enjoy whatever the road brings. But I don't think I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to hold off. It's probably going to have to be next weekend. But I think that's going to be our next big adventure day. And maybe we'll head... I just figured out what we're going to be doing on the next adventure, as long as the weather lets us. So, that's kind of a quick overview of the things that I like and don't like about this car. Comparing it to, say, my previous two vehicles, which was the Mercedes C63 AMG, that had a huge V8 that just drank gas and turned it into an amazing noise. The car before that was the Focus RS. That was a horrible, horrible car for a daily driver. I mean, for me anyways. It was too small, it was too fiddly, that's the word. And you had to be careful with everything you did on it, or it would get really expensive really fast. And to be fair, once I moved out here, out into the mountains, driving a standard kind of got old, especially with that heavy of a clutch in that car. It was, not the factory clutch. That would have been fine, but it had an aftermarket clutch because the factory clutch wore out. And then that wouldn't have been fun. But this is meant to be a do what you need a car to do car. And it's comfortable and nice to drive. I got tons of room, tons of light, and they're not even that expensive when you compare them to the competition. So I have definitely fallen in love with my Cadillac. I never, ever thought I'd say that, being that I've never been a fan of the domestic vehicles. Because, you buy it, drive it home, and it's worth half of what you just paid. But I feel that this has the value that they sell it for. So I'm very happy with my Cadillac CT5. I would not be saying don't buy one to my friends. I would be telling anybody, well, same thing regardless, drive it. Find what you like. Find what meets your needs, and then go with it. If you don't like it, it's a car. It's not the end of the world if you have to sell it and buy another one. All right, I've done it many, many times. So, well, because of the weather, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the weekend before I can get out and have some more fun. But that's about all I'm going to ramble on for today. Thank you very much for coming along on today's adventure. I very much appreciate anybody who considers subscribing, leaving likes, commenting, sharing videos, you know, all that YouTube stuff. Yeah. So I updated my schedule on my Instagram there and let everybody know that Thursday is the new day. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, thank you again for coming along. We will catch you on the next adventure.